Welcome back, everybody. It's the closing table. I'm here with my boy, Ben Hawkins. Our proud presenting sponsors are the Oceanair Realty and Cornerstone Home Lending. Lend with Ben. We're ready to hit the ground running today. Ben, I got something new for you, and it's a big one. Little country called Iran's been in the news lately. What's your take on all of this that's happening? This is a big topic.
Well, I don't know. I didn't like the timing necessarily because I thought we had a great, rousing State of the Union address, and prices are starting to come down. And then I wake up the day after they bomb Iran, the first part of it, and gas is up 20 cents a gallon. So for me, I don't like the timing. However, these guys have been bad actors on the world stage for 50 years under this regime, and it's to me it was far past time for something to happen over there. I mean, they just killed 35,000 of their own young people who were protesting in the streets. That's a genocide. It really is, if you want to talk about that. But I'm at the place where if we're going to do this, let's do it quickly and efficiently and be done. Obviously, there's going to have to be some type of a presence there for transition periods, to make sure that the proper political parties or whatever they want to do over there are in office that are going to be friendly to the world and to their own people. So, I hope for a quick, efficient outcome. And, I don't want to be over there for 4 years. I can tell you that.
I think that's the general consensus. It's certainly mine. We don't need another long, protracted occupation. If it's a surgical thing that can happen over a couple of days or even weeks, I think that's fine. I think ultimately the goal is to give the country back to the people that was taken away from them almost 50 years ago. And it's just so heartbreaking to go back and see what Iran looked like in the 70s versus where they are now. Give these people their country back. I think it's an example of good people taken over by bad actors, and those bad actors have helped grow other bad actors throughout the region and the world. And it was just time we finally had somebody who said, that's enough. We're not going to put up with it anymore. So, my heart goes out to all the people and family, the good folks who were affected by this. God bless our troops and all the ones coordinating with our troops. We got a lot of allies helping us out here. We're going to talk a little bit more about market impact later on in the show. But for now, I think we all agree we don't want another bunch of boots on the ground. We want to get this knocked out and move on to something else and let this country rebuild and take care of itself.
Amen.
So let's move on to your approved, a little bit more fun topic. This comes up a little bit every year. Of course, they've done it before. They're talking of doing it again. What are your thoughts on expanding the NCAA tournament? Again, we're at 68. They had the play-in round. They expanded the play-in round. What are your thoughts about going to 72 or maybe even 80 teams, Ben? What do you think on that?
I mean, I really don't care. I think it's more basketball. It's going to be exciting basketball because it is a tournament format. You either win or you go home. I don't personally care if they do expand it necessarily because selfishly as a basketball fan, it's just more basketball. So, I'm okay with it. What about you, Doug?
I'm completely okay with it. I don't get the gnashing of the teeth. It's not that big a deal. A couple more extra days. There are 300 and some plus Division I basketball programs. I mean, it's not like we're letting in half, which is what it feels like for bowl season, right? So it's a completely different conversation. And we've all seen the little guy make a run in March Madness. It's what makes March Madness the madness, right? Because the little guys have a chance to get in there and mix it up. One thing I hate is, a lot of teams that win their conference championship get forced into these first round matchups in Dayton. I mean, why? At least they won something. Why let the 7th team from the SEC not have to play in the first round? And I know they've done a little bit better job of that lately, but, I think always there's ways you can improve it. I've got no problem expanding it, though. I just really like the even so people don't have like buys or whatever. I know that's different when you have our first round, but let's do it. Let a couple more teams in. Let's make the madness even matter, in my opinion. I approve that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a play-in to the tournament in a way, very similar to what the NBA does. Yeah.
And if more little guys have the opportunity to have their day, I think we're both all for it. Okay, so back on the hunt a little bit. What's going to happen We've already seen it a little bit. What are you expecting to happen with rates from the fallout from Iran? They've already bumped back up a little bit. Not terrible, not yet, but they have bumped back up. So what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, again, the timing of all this, we were trending in the right direction interest rate
Yep.
wise for mortgages, and here we are, right? So,
Yeah.
the 10-year bond is up again today. It was up yesterday. It was up Monday. And the 10-year treasury is what you can follow pretty closely to monitor what interest rates are going to do as it pertains to mortgages. If the 10-year T-bill is up, that means mortgage rates are going to go up that day. If the 10-year T-bill is losing yield and going down, that's a great day for rates typically. So I just hate to see us take away all the traction we've been able to gain because we are entering the spring home buying season. It'd be nice to have spring home buying low rates. That's my take, man. So I'm like, come on, guys. That's when I get back to the timing of it all, Doug. We're starting to get gas low. Well, here it bumps back up over $3. Interest rates going back up a little bit. I just hate the timing of all of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like one step forward and two steps back, right? To cite a really good old country song. What's frustrating to me is why are gas prices up? That oil has been refined for months. That's just somebody taking advantage of the marketplace. That's ridiculous. Yeah, if the next load you get costs you more, sure, raise prices. But to raise the price on the gas that's already in the ground, give me a break. Give me a break.
And what happened to the 100 million barrels we just got from Venezuela? You know what I mean? Like it's just the whole thing reeks of taking advantage of people. And I don't hear anybody in the political realm that is standing up and saying, "Hey, this isn't justified right now. Why is it happening?"
Right.
It's gouging.
Right.
So I don't like all the timing of it. Again, Doug, like we talked about, but I agree with you, man. I think they're vultures is what they are. These gas companies and the gas stations. Shame on you. You didn't pay 20 cents more for that gallon of gas, but you're hiking the price up like you did. Shame on you.
Yep, agreed, 100%. All right, let's move on to lock it in. Prediction, man, especially over the last week, they've been talking about how many jobs are going to be replaced by AI. One huge company, I can't remember who it was. Maybe you can remember better than I can. Laid off like 3,000 employees, maybe 4,000 employees. We've talked a little bit about this before, but never really seen it in the news to this level. I mean, I know there's been speculation, but people are saying that with small businesses and some businesses increasing productivity 20 to 40%, that a lot of these entry-level white-collar jobs might go away. Now, the blue-collar jobs, well, until they build a robot that can dig the ditch or whatever, I think these folks are going to be fine. But what about these tech folks or these financial sector folks? What do you think is going to happen there?
I mean, it looks to me like they're going to be out of a job. I don't trust AI. I don't think it's smart for us to develop an intelligence that can be greater than our own. Because what does that set you up for? That sets you up for a takeover. That's just the nature of life. You get power, things get taken over. AI could be the same way. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary personally, but other people see a big value in it. I just think that anything that eliminates jobs for hardworking people, anything that has the potential to adapt and grow stronger and smarter than the human mind can expand to or get to is a problem. So I'm not a fan.
Well, let's take it a little step further because, I admire, and not to get political because I know this is going to ruffle so many people's feathers, but Elon Musk is a genius and he's done some really amazing things and continues to. But every time I see him make a comment about, well, don't worry about saving because there's going to be guaranteed income because everybody's going to be set up because AI is going to handle everything, I'm just like, what? Nobody wants to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Not at all.
No.
People need to work.
That's right. That's right. I mean, what do you do? What are we going to do if we're not working, right? Like, what are we going to, everybody start farming or like doing their, I mean, I don't understand. I don't know where we're going with this. And again, we're developing technology that can far supersede our own intelligence barriers. And that's a problem. Did we not watch Terminator? Have we not seen those movies? Like, honestly, I'm not saying we're anywhere close to inventing a time machine, but we are pretty daggone close to being able to develop technology that could somehow get our nuclear war button, our codes, and infiltrate our system and launch nukes at every country launching nukes at each other without even pressing the button. So I don't like it at all. I think it's ridiculous.
What was the name of the movie from the 80s with Matthew Broderick? Would you like to play a game about
Oh
thermonuclear warfare, the video game? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what it was predicting.
And that movie was made 40 years ago. So we still we can't. And I'm not saying I put stock in the movie, but it's very realistic. It could easily happen. So I don't want to play games with humanity's existence and prolonged existence, for that matter.
100%. And I think too, if you've seen the way some of these attacks are being waged by and against Iran, you can see the difference that technology is making. It's just really incredible, some of the weapons that we probably don't even know about, honestly, that are out there. It's probably a little scary. But all right, well, let's move it on from there. Let's move to due diligence. We're getting into spring break season. Ben, tell me about your spring break past.
Work. No, Doug, I'm not a big spring break traveler. Let's leave that to the college kid. I remember not being able to go to Panama City with all my buddies my senior year of high school. I still remember that. My parents weren't going to have it, and I missed out on that adventure. But who knows? It could have saved my life too. No telling what I would have got
That's
into.
True.
But for me, I mean, it's about Luke's out of school. So how do I navigate my work schedule with keeping him entertained as well, and having activities to play to keep him busy so I can work? So, for me, it's I'm in dad mode. I'll be 44 and gosh, what's today? I'll be 44 in 18 days. So
wow,
my priorities are focused on, the dad life, the work life. So yeah, for me, it's all about trying to be entertainment director and the mortgage advisor that my clients need.
Well, happy birthday from your staff, buddy.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to Doug, real quick, I'm going to throw a surprise party for myself. I'll let you know what date it is. Okay.
All right. That sounds great. We can make it spring break themed. What do you say?
Love it.
I never had a big spring break career either, but I'm with you. It's all different when you have kids, and you plan around spring break based on what they're doing from school. And with my sons being at different schools, we've got 2 different spring breaks. So, to do anything as a family, somebody's going to have to miss some school either now or later. One thing is I'm thinking about maybe doing a shooting down to Charlotte for a game for the ACC tournament next week, just depending on what the schedule looks like, because Winslow's out of school. So we'll see if we can coordinate that. We should have a better idea of the bracket probably come Saturday night or Sunday. We'll see how that plays out. So we'll see. We are going to Bald Head. We won an auction item at an LLS event last year for a little condo. So during Everett's spring break in a couple of weeks, we're actually going to go down there. But Winslow starts next week. So, maybe we get to celebrate 2 spring breaks. I don't know.
I like how you said it's a little condo. That basically said, hey, no visitors. That's what that did right there.
Definitely.
Doug.
Sorry, there's no room for anybody.
I was going to say, well, Doug, I'll see you over there. But you said little condo. So that means I better not unless I bring a tent to sleep on the beach or something, Well,
why don't you hop in the boat and puddle on down to the dock at Bald Head? We'll pick you up in the golf cart.
Oh, you know what? Let's do it, Doug. Let's do it. Sounds like a plan. If I get lost at sea, just send some people out to look for me, okay?
Okay. We'll see if we can find a replacement for you on the show while you're out there. Wait for the Coast Guard.
It would
Steve,
probably
get ready. We might need you.
Yeah. It'll be a vast improvement and much needed, I can tell you.
All right. Well, this is my favorite topic each week. Fix this. This is our old man gripe session. Let's gripe about the time change because we're getting ready to spring forward sometime soon. Can we end this insanity and just pick a time and stick with it all year long? Ben, yes or no?
We should, yes. But I want it to be the one where daylight is till 9 o'clock. I can't stand when it gets at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm over it. It's depressing. It's not fun. I want 9 o'clock sunsets. Give that to me all year as however I can obtain that. Let me have it. So for me, springing forward, yeah, I don't like losing an hour of sleep, but at the same time, I do get some extra sunlight during the day, and I like that a lot. So to
Yeah.
me, leave it alone. Let's spring forward one more time and then call it quits.
Yes, 100%. I'm with you. One more leap forward. Never do it again. Forget it ever existed. Stop messing with it. Come on, Congress, do something for us, for God's sake.
For real.
All right, let's move on to counter offer. Ben, we talked a little about the NCAA tournament before. Do conference championship tournaments still matter to you? What do you think?
Well, okay. To me, they only matter if my team has a chance to win. Okay, for me, right? But my team doesn't. And I'm kind of kidding about that. I like conference tournaments because it's a great precursor to March Madness for the NCAA tournament. But it also gives teams that would never get a chance to get in the tournament to catch fire, win 5 or 6 games in a row, and then make the tournament. I think that's kind of cool, personally.
Yeah.
Just the unknown of it, the excitement, the opportunity that it presents to those teams. For me personally, I like it a whole lot better than I do football's conference championship bowl games. I think that's a different type of a story there, and I think they become irrelevant in my opinion. But I love conference tournament championships. It's a great opportunity regionally for fans to be able to go, like you said, make a quick trip to Charlotte, spend the weekend. I've done that several times myself and always enjoyed it. The Spectrum Center is very accommodating in Charlotte for ball games. It's a comfortable environment and just a great basketball facility. So, I love that. I don't really care about the ACC tournament this year because absolutely nobody is beating Duke, and I don't care what anybody says. They're going to win, and they're most likely going to win the national championship. They are the best coach team, the most complete team that I've seen. But you know what? Again, it gives the underdog a chance to get into the NCAA tournament when the regular season record would not validate them being admitted. It does give everybody a chance to get in, and I love that. So, I'm ready for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I love the conference championship tournaments. I think it's, pinnacle sport. I want conference titles to mean something. And I feel like one of the worst aspects of the whole NIL thing is for everybody, it's like national title or bust, national title or bust. If I don't play in the national title, or if I don't make the Sweet 16, or if I don't make the college football playoffs, then, the season didn't mean anything. The ACC title means something. That means something. That is an amazing accomplishment. You get to hang a banner in your stadium. That's huge. I'd rather win the ACC title than make the Sweet 16. 16 other teams make the Sweet 16. Only one team wins the ACC title. I mean, come on. Let the conference championship mean something again instead of acting like, well, it's national title or bust. That's what I miss. And I think we've lost that because the conferences have gotten so big and they're not regional rivalries anymore, especially in the ACC where you've got from freaking Boston College to Miami to Cal and Stanford and SMU in between. I think the conferences need to shrink, and I hope that we see some recession in the conferences in the coming years. I think people realize that they went too far. So we'll see, but that's a whole nother debate that we can handle. But for me, the conference championships are still real to me, damn it.
Doug, I feel your passion. I know where you stand. I know where you stand on this issue. I agree with you. I think they do mean something, especially with seeding and stuff like that as it pertains to the NCAA tournament. But I will disagree with you on this. I would much rather get knocked out in the first or second round of the ACC tournament and then make the Sweet 16 and be one of the best 16 teams in basketball at the end of the year. That's just me.
Oh, well, I mean, versus losing early in the conference tournament, sure. But if you give me a conference tournament title versus a Sweet 16 exit, I'm taking the conference tournament title.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, let's move it on. Get local. So to talk a little bit more about basketball, the ACC women's tournament is not going to be in Greensboro for the first time ever. It's in Duluth, Georgia, of all places. And I don't really understand why it's in Duluth, Georgia. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But also the men's title game is in Charlotte this year, or the championship tournament, which it's been in Charlotte before. The men's tournament has bounced around several places, especially since the conference expanded a little bit. They've done Atlanta, they've done DC, they've done New York. They're back in North Carolina now. My question is, are you a fan of the tournaments bouncing around different locations, or do you just like to know that it's the same place every year? Any thoughts on
I
that?
think they need, I think they need a standard location, and let's commit to
Ah,
that. I mean, it's a lot easier to make travel plans. You also, I mean, honestly, like having it in Greensboro was kind of legendary. I mean, that's where the
yeah,
ACC tournament was forever. I will say this: moving it to Charlotte in a bigger market in a 20,000 seat arena, that's pretty cool though. Like I think it's a great showcase spot for the tournament. And it also, it gives you plenty of opportunity with hotels, the accommodations within the arena, dining establishments. It gives a wide variety of options for folks to be able to have a great time on that weekend or that week. So I personally, I don't mind it being in Charlotte. But I like to see it stationary. Let's quit moving it around each year. The women's tournament moving into Duluth, Georgia makes zero sense. There is not a team in Georgia in the ACC.
well, Georgia Tech.
Well, Georgia Tech, I was about to correct myself. But I mean, do they really matter? No. Sorry, Tech fans. I don't really care. I mean, you guys haven't been relevant in anything in a long time. That's just the way it is. So your Yellow Jackets have lost their sting. That's also a little pot shot out to somebody I know that's a Georgia Tech alum and not one of my favorite people. So anyway, I don't Georgia Tech, whatever. But Duluth, Georgia, there's absolutely no reason to have the tournament there at all. I mean, who gets excited and says, "Hey, Doug, man, great news! I got tickets for us to the ACC women's basketball tournament, and it's in Duluth." I mean, Duluth sounds like a medical procedure or a tooth extraction or something. No offense, sorry, Duluth, Georgia, but like, come on, man, give me a break.
Well, I get them moving it to Charlotte because now the ACC headquarters is in Charlotte, and I think it was inevitable that there were going to be more of them there. The Greensboro Coliseum is actually larger than the Spectrum Center, which is why they host, regionals in the NCAA tournament. It's a much bigger
Hold
stadium, I'm
on,
pretty sure.
how many seats does it hold?
It's bigger than Spectrum Center. We'll have to check the notes, but I bet it is. Spectrum Center ain't hosting an NCAA regional.
Well, I'm going to
And
fact
that's
check
because
you
of
on
butts
this,
and
Doug.
seats. Do it.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's a much nicer building to watch a basketball game.
Yeah.
Right?
Now,
I mean, it's an
I'm
NBA
not arguing
arena.
with that at all. And of course, the city offers a lot more than Greensboro does. I don't think there's any argument there. Do I think it needs to go to Madison Square Garden again, where the Big East tournament is, to placate Syracuse and Boston College? No. Do I think it needs to go to D.C. again to placate Virginia and Virginia Tech? Maybe, but Maryland's not in the conference anymore, so who cares? I mean, North Carolina is the heart of the ACC, and it's where the conference offices are, and we have two great cities for it. Atlanta, everybody goes to Atlanta for so many things. We don't need another tournament in Atlanta. So I'm good with it staying in North Carolina.
I can't stand going to Atlanta anyway. Don't get me started. Georgia as a whole, I'm just not a huge fan of anything out of there. And Doug, to fact check me, you're right. It's bigger by 2,000 seats. However, it was built in 1930. So, I'd take the state of the art accommodations at the Spectrum Center over old Greensboro Coliseum any day.
Sounds like a Greensboro hater. All right.
I sound like a grumpy old dude. I'm actually just really upset that I was wrong about the statistical fact on the seating capacity. No, I don't. I think Greensboro's a great place. I think Greensboro's a great arena. I'm just kidding around about that. I just was mad that I lost my argument.
Well, it's okay. It probably won't be the last time if we keep doing the show, so it'll be okay. All right, let's keep moving. Enough. Also, our grumpy segment was 2 segments ago, not that segment. So try and keep up. Okay? You can't be grumpy every segment.
All right. Fair.
All right, let's keep moving to our final walkthrough. So I experienced this morning. Technology is great until it doesn't work right. Then what the hell do you do? One of my document management system I was trying to check before we started our show today is done. Or it's down. What do I do when I can't? How frustrated are you, and how do you manage not punching a hole in the wall or jumping out the window when one of your tech stack things go down and you need it? Because it always goes down at the worst time, right?
Doug, a company implementing the incorrect software or using the incorrect software, or software that simply was sold as a pot of gold that is absolute dog crap, it's really frustrating. we were introduced to a new loan origination software here, which doesn't negatively impact my clients or my ability to provide service, but it's one of the worst loan origination software systems I've ever seen and ever used in my life. And I told they sent a survey out about, hey, how do you like this? Tell us what we can improve on. So I politely told them that whoever decided to implement this software has obviously never originated or processed a mortgage loan in their entire life, ever in life. There's no way.
Yeah.
So for me, technology right now is beyond frustrating. It was supposed to be integrated with AI and all this other crap. It's awful. So, for me, it's made my job 10 times harder as far as being able to expedite things that normally would be easy to find in the software or an easy button to press. Now I have to go through 3 locked doors, find the keys to said doors, and then try to find out which key unlocks said door. It's just it's a disaster. So, for me, that's a big pain point. Stop implementing things that don't work if you are a business owner or if you are someone that has the ability to call shots on what tech is implemented. Again, we talk about how great AI is. That's another example. If tech can stop everything in our world right now, if something shuts down, the electric grid goes down, if a lot of things go down, I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket for things that require something that the plug can be pulled upon. So for me, I think it's a disservice to your employees, to everybody around you when you implement things that simply don't work or are on the verge of not working.
I certainly can agree with you. I've dealt with systems that obviously weren't designed by the people who are going to be using it, right? It's completely different.
Right.
You think you know what the people need versus what people who actually do it every day need, and then you're not receptive to the feedback. That's very frustrating. But you make a good point too, especially the world we live in now. We're so, technology dependent. What if some country makes a strike on the internet cables that run under the Atlantic seaboard, right? And everything goes down. Where are we going to be? We're going to be back in the dark ages for a little while anyway. So, I think it's good to always hedge your bets and not rely maybe too heavily on that stuff. That's why I don't think AI will ever replace the human component. You need that human component. It's just different. And people at the end of the day, even though they're, say, I don't want to talk to people, or I don't, I'm an introvert or whatever, people still want to deal with people at the end of the day. Just best example, just call into any customer service and have to talk to that AI to try and get you to somebody.
Right.
You think that's wait until you're doing it for your doctor.
Well, it's worse than trying to talk to the person in Pakistan that I can't understand on the phone. I would rather deal with them, as bad as that is, than dealing with AI.
Than the AI, yeah, 100%.
Like that,
right.
I agree with you.
Well, we're almost to closing time, so let's wrap this up. What are you looking at over the next week? What is the biggest things you're keeping an eye on?
I'm keeping an eye on the situation in Iran. I'm keeping keeping an eye on oil prices. I'm also keeping a very watchful eye on the 10-year Treasury bond. The 10-year Treasury bond is absorbing my world right now with watching what's going to happen and what is happening in real time with everything that's going on with the war with Iran and stuff like that. That's why I hope this is a quick, easy fix. We can get back to business as usual. So I'm keeping a very close eye on that for myself and for my clients. Because at the end of the day, their money's on the line. When our politicians and our federal government, or any politician for that matter, it could be local, state, federal, when they make decisions and as such, there's repercussions for the people that vote them into office. And I just hope that this isn't a move that's going to be painful for people, because we finally had some daggone leverage and some movement and activity to get us into a great spring home buying season. We need to keep that momentum, and I don't like seeing anything take away from that. And real fast, Doug, before we go, because I know you're gonna speak on this and then cut me off because it's closing time. Okay, I get it, but I got to give a big shout out to my UNCW Seahawks. With the win at Elon last night, they secured the CAA regular season championship, a double bye in the tournament. We're going to hang a banner in the CAA tournament and march our way all the way into the NCAA tournament. And I'm telling you, if they get the right matchups, they can make some noise in said tournament. You watch out for those UNCW Seahawks. I love it. Let's go Hawks.
Well, that's super cool, and I love your enthusiasm, and you know why? It's because conference tournaments matter. Conference tournaments matter, baby. Hang that CAA banner, Seahawks. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's go. All right. Well, we made it again. We're at the closing table. The docs are signed. It's time to get out of here and celebrate. Thanks again to our sponsors, Cornerstone Home Lending and the Ocean Air Realty. Please like and subscribe if you've liked what you've seen. Follow us on Apple Podcasts or on YouTube. Feel free to comment. We'd love to get your feedback or any topics that you would like for us to talk about. We're always open to talk about anything. But until next time, when we talk about what's about to happen in March Madness and recap these conference tournaments, this has been the closing table, and we're closed.